We're here from World of Enders with Liss.
You used my in-game name. I never use that on YouTube. That's private.
Well, I've been using your in-game name for all of your characters so far.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, I never noticed. Okay, well, hello. Yeah, this is my main, alright? So, this is the big one. This is the main event. Well, it's not really. Okay, but what terrible build have you got for me today, Boots?
Well, it's not necessarily a terrible build. Like, none of my builds have been terrible so far. They've all been really, really good.
They've all been terrible builds.
They've been very good builds.
Look,
in fact,
everyone's in agreement, okay? That
nobody's in agreement. Have you seen the comments on
Yes,
this
and they all say, "Oh, Boots, I'm sorry you got so depressed when you were slammed down with this logic,
like
this powerful,
one comment.
unbudging logic from this, powerhouse of a human being, Wooden Potatoes."
Everybody else has been saying how cool my builds are and how much they love using them now and dominating in their respective playstyles.
Actually, I did see someone said that they were running the PvP, the warrior build in PvP.
Yeah.
And that was kind of cool. I guess that probably would have warmed my cold, frosty heart had I seen something like that.
There you go. Anyway, so I'm on Arenanet, my Elementalist. My first build that I came up with for my Elementalist was the Evasive Arcana build. The, tanky, but still...
Just for everyone listening, okay? Alright? Because I know this is something you believe. Do you believe you started Evasive Arcana in Guild Wars 2?
Yes, I do.
There you have it, guys. World of Enders created the Evasive Arcana meta.
Yeah. Because I remember talking to you about it back in the day.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, okay.
Maybe a month into the game or something like that.
Yeah.
And you were going... Well, first of all, we dueled.
Did we?
And
oh, yeah. Oh, my God, that's when I met you. I remember on Capricorn. And it went on and on and on and on and on and on. I was running a Signet Ellie back then as well.
I remember that. And you were saying how powerful Signet Ellies were.
Yeah, dude. I remember I went into a PvP match on a Signet Ellie, like these guys that were hardcore into it, and I failed to stomp someone because I didn't have cantrips and mistform, and they proper raged at me, and I was like, no, Signets can work, leave me alone. And it was
Meanwhile, I was running my Evasive Arcana Ellie, which used only cantrips. Way back when on my channel, I have this video of me playing PvP, and I submitted that to Buildcast.
Buildcast,
really?
I don't even know what
way
this is.
Back when on Game Breaker TV.
Okay.
It was like the PvP version of Guildcast, where they had people send in their builds and their video of people playing with their builds.
Is this really a story about how you created the Evasive Arcana meta?
I did.
And so everyone saw it from there, right? And then they went on. It's true. It is true, though, guys. When the game came out, I was not keen on Evasive Arcana. I had never really tried it, but just based on looking at it, and this is so bad as well. That was when every single one of them was a blast and stuff as well.
Yeah.
So you could just do ridiculous stuff like a water dodge roll on the staff and just oh my god. Yeah, the worst.
But I, of course, was only using Scepter Dagger.
This is the thing, right? You only play Scepter Dagger.
Yeah.
It's like all you do. Like any build, it has to be Scepter Dagger, right?
Pretty much. I think it's the problem is Dagger is really, everybody plays Dagger. It's fun, but it doesn't feel right to me. An Elementalist feels like it should be calling down the elements from the sky. It should be doing things from a little bit further away. But at the same time, a staff, it's really bad for me because it's like...
You think it's too face roll? See, I honestly will say, Scepter Dagger, Scepter Focus, Scepter in particular, I guess, feels like a really cool weapon set to play. There's a lot of finesse to the weapon. That's my favourite word to use to describe Scepter. There's a lot of finesse. I was loving DD for like a year. That's all I ever played. But it gets boring. Like, I really don't actually think, even with might stacking and being mindful of many of the things you can be on Dagger, no matter how strong it is, I find that Bruiser playstyle really kind of boring. But Scepter builds, especially very glassy Scepter builds, can be quite fun.
Right, so that brings me to my build. Over this time, over the 2 or 3 years or whatever that I've been playing Guild Wars 2, it's evolved from this really tanky Evasive Arcana spec.
Clerics and stuff,
and slowly but surely, I took out some of the cantrips, put in maybe some arcane power to get a little more power, then switched to like a Evasive Arcana / Fresh Air when it came out build. That was a lot of fun for a little while. And eventually that sort of went away, and now I've come to this because what happens is you get comfortable playing it, and then you realize the limitations of playing so tanky, you realize that you could still be safe if you play well, but get a lot more power by changing up your traits.
Right, yeah. You take the handlebars away, and all of a sudden you can make huge plays.
Exactly. So basically,
what? Yeah, go on. Sorry.
So what this build is taking away any single possible handlebar and stretching the limits of how powerful an Ellie could be. Okay, so the build is this. You ready? I'm gonna just put this over.
Am I gonna enter this in as we go?
I think sure, why not?
Okay, all right.
There are actually a few different ways of building it.
Absolutely.
There is the way you suggested, which I don't like.
Okay.
Which was 0, 25, 10, 10, 5 or something like that. I don't know.
No, that's 5.
It was 25 and Earth.
Yeah, it was... No. Okay, the highest burst in the game... Well, actually, no. It used to be before the change with the new Grandmaster. We might be jumping the gun a bit talking about this, but the change with Lightning Rod that allows you to get that extra spike on the updraft, okay? Before that existed, the highest, like, raw, just flat damage buffing you can get with everything procced perfectly is 25 Earth. It's true. It is.
No, I disagree.
It is, dude.
It's not.
But
I disagree.
But that's better for consistent damage rather than burst. You know, if you can consistently be DPSing while you have everything procced up like that, they're bleeding, you're at close range, you have max endurance, you have max health, all of that stuff. If it's all constantly procced, then it's better. But for a pure burst build, no, it's not necessarily the best. I'm just saying, like, if you want to get raw numbers the highest they possibly can, it is 25 Earth, like on one hit. But that's not necessarily the biggest burst you can get, which is the build, right? This is the idea.
Right, so the biggest burst I could get is my boom build. I'll be showing some footage of probably it in the background, probably of my montage.
Your magnum opus.
Ah, that was beautiful. I still can't get over how nice it was. I could watch that over and over again.
Oh my god, okay, yes.
Okay, so 25, 30, 5, 6, 2, 0, 1.
201, what?
What? 5, 6, 2, 0, 1.
Yes, okay, yeah, I got you. Yes.
So the reason 25 in fire works is because your 25 in fire's burning rage deal 10% more damage to burning foes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how do you get your foes burning?
Well, you're probably taking the minor, I would expect, that does it on crit.
No, you're taking burning precision. Yes, you're doing that.
Okay,
You're doing what you just said.
Okay. So there's a little bit of RNG here. You have to be honest. There's a tiny little bit of RNG. You want to proc the burning on the earlier hits of the spike.
Yeah. So you have
the idea is you're spiking with lots of different skills all at once, right? Or hits at least.
Right. You have a third of a chance to get burning on a crit with this, and so basically, if you're doing 4 hits, you get burning crit chance, right?
And just to be clear to everyone, okay. By spike, what do you mean? How in what time frame are you unloading your damage on an opponent?
Less than a second.
I would say probably more like a quarter of a second if you do it perfectly.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so like he's going to hit you with a ton of stuff very quickly. So even though this burning from this trait, burning precision, is only giving you 1 1/4 seconds, it does actually, that's plenty of time to unload your spike.
Yeah, you don't need that much time. As long as if it spikes on the first hit or the second hit, basically you're getting full damage.
Yeah, so it's almost like with this trait, 33% of the time you do a 10% higher spike on everything, and pretty much every time you're doing more damage.
Yeah, because the whole burst is, I think, 8 or 9 different hits in the same amount in less than a second.
It's gonna proc the burning. It's going to, unless you're already on cooldown from someone else, but it's only a 2-second cooldown.
Exactly. Okay, so then we got. Going into it, sometimes I get Pyromancer's Alacrity just to be able to use your fire skills more often, but that's counter to the burst build. In fact, what you should be doing instead is Lava Tomb, which is what I do.
How long till I can talk? Lava Tomb?
Lava Tomb!
Lava Tomb?
And I'll tell you why.
God.
The reason is because...
You're relying on the stupidity of people in hot joints to stand over your body to try and stomp you. That's why.
Exactly, but also it does increase your base damage while you're down by 50%. No, 33%.
33, it's pretty good.
Exactly, and so you're doing a ton of damage when you're down, which you're going to be a lot. You're going to be downed a lot with this build.
Oh my god, dude. Okay. Lava Tomb. Okay, alright. I'm going to give you my variant after we're done.
Alright, fine.
Alright.
Then we got Air Magic. So 30 in Air Magic. You got Bolt to the Heart, obviously. 20% extra damage when they're below 33% health. Air Training, 10% extra damage when you're in air. And that is because with the burst, you switch to air basically right after you use fire. And pretty much every single one of the attacks actually lands while you're in air.
Yes, you're right.
And then Lightning Rod.
Okay. Do you want to explain a little bit to people as well why you're not running Arcane Lightning instead of Air Training? Now, I know the reason for this, but maybe they won't.
The reason I'm not running Arcane Lightning instead of Air Training is because it's not as powerful.
Okay, but why?
What is it? 150 every time you use an arcane skill. Because first of all, I only use 1 or 2 arcane skills. And
yeah, but arcane powers, right? So every burst you put it.
Right, but it's only critical damage, and the 10% damage is to your base damage.
Right, yes, exactly. So you're going to be critting anyway. 10% damage is actually worth more than the ferocity boost.
Yeah, because the base damage, the 10% of the base damage, then applies critical damage on top of that.
Yes, exactly. That makes sense. Bit of maths. All right, keep going.
And then Lightning Rod, but Lightning Rod is could be switched for Fresh Air if you feel like getting more sustain. But, Lightning Rod is what I use because I like using Tornado instead of Sustain.
I cannot believe... Okay.
And
so
also
bad.
doing more damage on top of that. You'll see.
Okay.
Frick, right. I do... I do... My Lightning Rod hits do nearly 6,000 damage. Okay. Then Earth Magic. Earth Magic is 10% extra damage when you're within 600 of your target.
Pretty standard.
And of course, Arcane Fury, 20% extra crit damage. Crit change. Fury. You get Fury when you switch to humans. So the way it works is you pop your Arcane Power to do 5 extra hits of damage, of critical hit damage.
The guaranteed crits.
Guaranteed crits. You put your Phoenix behind the moose.
Wow, how Canadian was that?
And then as you're releasing the button that you're holding your Phoenix down for, you teleport with your Lightning Flash instead of behind in front, and then switch to Lightning and pull off your Burst and Lightning. That way, the Phoenix that's supposed to leave your hands when you cast it, in fact, only leaves your hands after you've teleported, which is right next to the moose. So the area of effect thing that tells them that they should start dodging only shows up less than a quarter of a second before it actually hits them.
See, I'm sorry, already I'm walking up to the Zerg and I'm like, oh, if I want to do max damage to the Zerg, I'm going to equip a friggin' staff, and I'm going to Meteor Shower them, and then I'm going to Ice Bow them.
Yeah, but
I have no idea why you'd ever
We're not
assume
supposed to be doing this. This is stupid.
anything else is better. Oh my god, I messed up so bad. I don't want to talk to anyone about what I just did.
What did you do?
Go.
Oh, I've already down 4 people!
Go. Yeah, they're all up levels. It's friggin' EOTM, bro. What is this? Finish him off. Finish this guy off.
I'm dead.
Damn it. Oh, so this is Boots' build in action.
I killed 4 people.
I'm glad this made it into the video.
Shut up.
You're the squishiest thing in the game. No one needs to stomp you. You have Vapor Form anyway. Nobody should be trying to stomp you. Lava Tomb is useless. And this general idea that you can just burst people down through their ignorance is foolhardy. Like, I've spent a lot of time playing Burst Ellie in PvP, and I know what it's like when, especially when people start to recognize your name. Oh, look, it's Liss. All he ever does is play a Burst Ellie. They get very careful, very careful. They know as soon as you get to that 900 range, and they know that you're off cooldown, and they know that you're probably going to do something ridiculous, like suddenly come in and burst with a massive Phoenix combo, right? Even as quick as Boots has got it down, even as amazing as his rotation is and perfect as it is, people will just start staying outside of that 900 range, and they'll dodge roll the second they get in it. They'll bait your stuff out. The meta doesn't help either, the fact that there is stuff like Endure Pain that automatically pops at low health. And I'm not saying people run the Necromancer Death Shroud trait, but that's a thing too. It's so heavily built into that one burst, that one trick pony, that as soon as that fails, through something as simple as a single evade frame. Like, one of the greatest strengths of the burst is how quickly it gets pushed out, but also because of the way Guild Wars 2 is built with dodge rolls, that also makes it one of its greatest weaknesses. People can intelligently dodge roll it, people can, more importantly, accidentally dodge roll it, and it's the most infuriating thing in the world, and it also means the build suffers a lot.
It does.
You are so squishy, you just get completely owned. So what I ended up doing was, I didn't have as many tools as Boott does when I first started playing with incredibly glassy, massive all-in-one cannon elementalists. I didn't have some of the amulets that are available. I didn't have, especially this Grandmaster in air. It didn't exist. So when I tried it, I very quickly started to modify the build and just tweak it ever so slightly.
So you did the opposite of what I did over time.
No, I started massive glass, and then I started to rein it in.
And I started tanky and started to go crazy.
The one of the biggest times for me when I really started to change just how much was focused on the burst rather than other utility of the build was when Icebow had its base damage increased on the Ice Storm. The day that happened and I realized how powerful Icebow had become, so all of a sudden one of these utility skills that I was using before for pure burst, like I was Arcane Power, Arcane Wave, Lightning Flash kind of thing. And when I started putting the Icebow in and saw that you could nuke entire teams with that Icebow 4 over a perfect body or something, it really changed my perspective with the way that I could contribute to the team. Like, the burst wasn't everything. So the way I run this now is, yes, I have this massive burst component, but I also have a lot of stuff that helps me survive even after that automatic endure pain goes off. The main thing I do is I love the trait spread, by the way, that you give. The 5-6-2-0-1 I'm in love with. That Fury is incredibly potent, but the thing is, I don't run Lightning Rod. Lightning Rod is ridiculous for PvP.
Yeah,
Fresh Air gives you so much utility, so much ability to take advantage of that Fury that's pulsing out of Arcana, so many opportunities to spike with that 2 and to get extra blinds with the 3, that I'm just absolutely in love with it. I even eventually moved out of the Earth Magic 2, which, yes, is really powerful and it kind of smarts to get rid of it, but as soon as you look into Fire Magic, you're already taking you're burning people on 30% of your crits. You take that new Grandmaster Blinding Ashes and all of a sudden you notice that you're blinding people consistently. Zerka Stance is your only enemy at that point, and all of a sudden you have like these massive 1v1 capabilities. So like, it's just almost an essential part of the build to me. Thieves will just camp you. Any half decent thief in the game just has to wait in stealth. Yes, they do.
No. I destroy thieves. No, sorry. I gotta tell you right now, thieves are the one thing in the game that I can consistently kill and
Bad thieves.
No. Are
thieves.
you gonna tell me right now?
It's a foolish build. I cannot express.
I don't disagree with you there.
I cannot express how maddening it is to me that you run dagger offhand and not focus offhand.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable. And tornado, no fresh air. Like, this is just ridiculous.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. But I do it anyway because it's fun. Yeah. And otherwise, if I didn't do this, how would my new guild that I made make any sense at all? 2-trick pony.
Oh my god. What's the second trick?
Tornado.
Oh my god. Oh, dude. Yeah, so it's an interesting philosophy thing there, because like what Boott has got is mathematically, unquestionably, the highest spike in the shortest period of time you can achieve in Guild Wars 2.
Oh, speaking of which, I'm just going to do that right now.
And so to see something like that is really cool, okay? But if you actually want to play it in any real game type, in my opinion, maybe we can get away with it in World vs. World.
Can I just...
you're going to curtail it a bit.
I'm just going to quickly calculate the damage I just did to this veteran guard, if you don't mind.
Alright, sure. Okay.
Do you have a calculator?
Yes, I do. I'm on a PC. Here we go. Okay, what I came to there was 37,380 damage in probably like a quarter of a second.
Yeah.
So it's very strong. Don't get me wrong. This is an interesting one because... Okay, I'm going to ask you the question, alright? Here we go. This is the question of the series to me. Are you ready?
What is it for?
What's it for?
I just told you.
No, go on. So tell me again. Tell me the answer.
It's for roaming around in World vs. World, killing people, and then also taking camps, because it's good at taking camps. Okay. And then in PvP, hot choice. I haven't tried it really in tournament, and I have a feeling there's a reason why I'm not going to try it in tournaments.
Because you'll find people that know what they're doing.
people know what they're doing. Yeah.
But okay, for this episode, I will say, what is it for? You hit it perfectly. There is nothing that does it better. And for that reason, maybe it is not a Boots bad build.
No, it is a Boots. All my Boots bad builds are Boots bad builds for a reason, because they're good at something, but not necessarily good. Anyway, so that's that. Thanks, Flail, for letting me know what's wrong with this build.
Wow. Okay. Well, there you go.
Thanks again.
Guys, always saying, okay, if you want to learn the way of Burst Ellie, if you want to learn crazy Burst Ellie, you go to Boots. If you want to learn real Burst Ellie, you come to me. Okay.
I know how to do real Burst Ellie, I just don't choose not to.
He chooses not to.
But the important thing is that my next build.
Oh god. What class are we doing next? What class are we doing?
We're gonna do Thief, I think.
We're gonna do Thief. Interesting.
And it's gonna be glorious.
Is it now? I'm very curious about it.
Because it's not the best at anything.
Oh god.